Hi there. What businesses can someone begin with 5,000 Kenya shillings? Yes, 5K Kenya shillings only. What businesses can someone begin? I know some people might be saying this is little amount of money. Of course, it might be little amount of money to some faction, yet it is a good sum of money to others. The most important thing when it comes to business and investing isn't really the absolute amount of money which someone has, rather what they do with this money. Someone can begin a business with 5K Kenya shillings only, and over 3 years period is done to over $500,000. Another person can begin a business, for example, with 50K Kenya shillings, and it goes down the drain in just 1 week. That is why the most important thing someone needs to do is to invest wisely and actually use the right strategies for them to be able to see their money grow. You are all much welcomed to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afadza Sifuna. And by the way, if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. Subscribe for you to be getting awesome videos like these ones each and every time. Having said that, the very first business that you can begin with just 5K Kenya shillings in Kenya is the business of doing groceries kibanda business, right? I'm pretty sure, regardless where you live in Kenya, whether in urban centers like, for example, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret, name it, or even in rural towns, I'm pretty sure you have a kibandaski near you whereby there is a mama boga who's selling boga there each and every day for them to be able to make a living. With just 5,000 Kenya shillings, you can be able to begin a groceries kibanda business. From the face of it, some people may think, for example, this business doesn't really have a lot of money. But through conversations with some mama bogas, you're going to realize that actually they are doing that business day in, day out, because that business is able to give them food on their plates each and every day, and most importantly, is also giving them some money for them to be able to even pay school fees for their children, for them to be able to contribute to their chama monies, for them to be able to stack or save some of this money in their bank accounts. And by the way, it's kind of funny if you think about it. Mama Mboga, through just 5K and working very hard, they're able to do all these things I've mentioned. And even you could find, for example, someone out there earning even 100,000 per month from a white-collar job, and yet they are perpetually broke. It is because Mama Mboga, with this little amount of money, they are able to develop that discipline of investing, reinvesting, saving money, and thinking about the future in a very clear way. That is the first business which you can look to begin with just 5,000 Kenya shillings. And then the second business idea which you could look to delve into is the idea of selling eggs and smokies. Again, I'm very sure, regardless you are in which part of the country, you occasionally see that gentleman, that lady pushing a trolley, or even having a stagnant trolley at a given point placed there where they're selling eggs, smokies, kachumbari each and every day. By the way, this kind of business, which some can begin with anywhere between 3,000 to even 7,000 Kenya shillings. And with just that amount of money, you can be able to be well in business. And by the way, in case you are located in a very strategic place, you can even be selling eggs, smokies, sausages, you name it, to even upwards of 2,000 Kenya shillings in revenue per day. In other words, possibly you'll be able to make even 1,000 Kenya shillings in profit per day. Of course, like any business out there, it's going to take some time to gain traction, For people to trust you, for example, that you make the best eggs, you're selling for them, you have good customer etiquette and so forth, it's going to take some time. But once it peaks, be sure you're going to be in business, right? And then the third business, which you can look to delve into, is the business of selling ladies' clothes, ladies' shoes, ladies' handbag, and in this context, I'm talking about second-hand, okay? Mtumba products, first camera products, and so forth. Let's all face it. Ladies' products out here are cheaper compared to products for men. To give you an example, a lady can easily get a good shoe out there on the street with just 300 shillings. And yet a gentleman will have saving, for example, upwards of 2,000 Kenya shillings for them to be able to get a good shoe out there. So the ladies' products out here are quite cheap. And the good thing that also ladies are impulse buyers. They buy spontaneously compared to men. A man can wear the same clothes for over 3 years before they think about buying even a new piece of cloth or even a new shoe. But ladies out here are impromptu buyers. In case you know where good products are sold, for example, in wholesale, in bulk, Of course, with 5k Kenya shillings, you won't really talk about you buying a whole bale, but you can get some products from those people who buy in bales and then go and sell in a different market. You can start with a few products. For example, to give you an example, just begin with even a simple thing like even 30 shoes. You get each of these ladies' shoes at just 100 shillings or 150 shillings. Go and sell them twice the price. You can do that, and most important thing is that with these, you can actually be able to turn in a profit in quick succession. You're talking about you beginning just 5k, you could even be able to see this grow to even 100k worth of business in just under 1 year. By the way, look to start this in case you are in an urban center, because you're talking about high flow of traffic of students, of many ladies, and with this, you're gonna be able to tap into this market, right? And then the fourth idea you can look to delve into is the idea of you selling kahawa, kaimati, kangumu, any other confectionery out there by hawking, moving around with these jars of kahawa, moving around with even a pail which has mandazis and so forth. I know you've seen, more so in the evenings in the town you live in, you see some gentlemen or even some ladies walking around with kahawas to sell to people. And by the way, this is a very good bargain in case the weather, we're talking about the rainy weather, the chilly weather. Because people are out here, for example, going about their business in the chilly weather. So they really appreciate you selling, for example, to them a kahawa which is warm, to keep them warm, and an accompaniment at a good price. You know, we're talking about them moving around, and actually these people are normally in business. I was conversing with one of them sometime, and even I was shocked when they told me, for example, they make a profit of 500 in just under 2 hours of work. Think about it. 500 shilling profit in under 2 hours of work. Of course, there is some preparation which goes into that before they start selling these products. But there are products which are in high demand, more so during cold weather. And then the last idea which I want to discuss with you is the idea of you yourself serving as a delivery person in a local area, right? You might be having trusted relationships with people out there. Why not serve as the middleman? In case they need anything, you can be the errand person. You know, you can be the delivery person. In case they need anything, you bridge the gap between these busy people and the different markets out there. And in between these, you're going to be able to make commissions. You might be wondering, why am I saying you need to start this with 5k? First of all, image is very important. So you might need, for example, some decent clothes, some decent shoes for you to be presentable. And even beyond that, you need to have the initial kind of loose money to facilitate your initial movement before you start getting money from commissions and even cuts from you delivering different products. And by the way, in case you have good interpersonal skills, this might just be the business for you before you even scale and grow big in this business. What do you think about these 5 ideas? I hope you've learned a thing or two. Thanks a lot for watching. I look forward to share with you other awesome ideas next time. Bye bye, and you all take care.